and welcome to the seasonal table kitchen. Today we are cooking Korean dumplings, which are calling mandu. Here you can see the main ingredients for the filling of the Korean dumplings. In fact, here's a lot of things in the stuffing, but the main which make a difference from other ones, that is the sweet potato noodles. Of course, we will need the ground meat. We will use a pork today with 10% of the fat in it. Here is a 2 kilo of mince meat, and also that is important to buy right wrappers for the dumplings. They should to be thin. I will use 2 packs, each one for about 500 grams. So we will make a big bunch of the dumplings today. We start preparing the filling with noodles. We need 300 grams semi-cooked sweet potato noodles, which I put into the container deep enough to cover it with water. I'm boiling the water in a pot and pour over the noodles so that the water completely covers the noodles. I cover container with a lid but not close it so the steam can go out, and 20 minutes I keep them like this. They should swell and became transparent. After, we need drain the water and cool them with a cold water. Also, I use a scissor to cut them a little bit to make them shorter, so it will be convenient to cut them. I take a noodle in portions and cut thinly with a knife. So these small pieces should to be about 2 millimeter, not longer, because it will be not comfortable to wrap the dumplings if the noodles will be in the big, long size. Now we are bringing enough water to boil and start to prepare mung bean sprouts. We use 500 grams. We put them into the hot boiling water, which I also put the salt inside, about 1 teaspoon. We blanch them for 1 minute, after drain and cool, and also we need to chop them. We chop them with a knife, also in small pieces, about 2 millimeter. After, we take a natural clean cloth. It should to be damp, and we are going to use it for squeezing the liquids from the chopped mung bean sprouts. So we put them in portions and squeezing the liquids. We're wrapping them in the piece of cloth and squeezing the liquids. So here you can see what you're gonna get. You press enough to pour out all the possible liquids. Now we switch to the tofu. We need 400 grams of the firm tofu. I use 2 blocks, each one 200 grams. And first of all, we mash the tofu with a knife into the fine crumbs. After, we will use the clean natural piece of cloth again, and we'll do the same things like we did with mung bean sprouts. So we should to squeeze the liquids out of the tofu. So we take a mashed tofu, put in the cloth, and squeeze the liquids out. So here you can see what you're gonna get. And now we switch to the next ingredient which we need to prepare. That is garlic chives. I use 1 big bunch, that's 300 grams. You wash it well and dry with a paper kitchen towel. And now we are separating the garlic leaf from the stem. After, we also trim any yellow or bad ends of the garlic chives. Also, I put them into the container and pour with water with vinegar for 20 minutes. I will keep them like this, and after rinse to be sure that they are clean. It's optional, you can just wash them as that's all. And also you need to dry them before you chop them. We're gonna to chop into the small pieces about 5 millimeter. And last one, we break 2 large chicken eggs into the bowl and stir into the egg mixture. So now all the preparation are finished. Here you can see all the ingredients which belong to the filling of the dumplings. There is a sweet potato noodles, garlic chives, egg mixture which we prepare in mung bean sprouts, also, and tofu. And also, of course, here is a mince pork, 2 kilo, which we're going to use today. And I also will use the lard, 2 tablespoons. That is optional. If you don't want, you just skip it, but I'm going to use it for more juicy filling. Now you take as a deep mixing bowl, large enough to mix everything in convenient way. First I add the pork fat, lard, and mix it evenly into the mince pork. Next I'm going to use a mashed tofu. I take the ingredients of the filling one by one and mix them in, because I think that is more convenient and more comfortable way to not make too much mess, and growing the amount of the filling like step by step. Now we are going to season it with 2 tablespoons of salt. I use a sea salt, you can use other kind of salt. Black pepper, I use a lot, 3 tablespoons. You can just do it by your taste. Also 3 tablespoons of soy sauce we are going to put in, and oyster sauce, 4 tablespoons. First I wanna add 3 tablespoons, but I ended up with 4 and it was just right. Now we give it a good mix. And going to put last, you put sesame oil, 4 tablespoons. And also when you put sesame oil, last you pour over the egg mixture. Now we are going to give it a final mix, and our dumpling filling is ready to be used. You can keep it 20 minutes, just set aside and let it sit, or just use it right away, which we are going to do now. For wrapping the dumpling, you will need a tablespoon for spooning the filling, paper towel to clean your hands, water for moistening the dumpling skin. I keep the dumpling skin in a lidded container to prevent them from the drying out. I take them one at a time and keeping in the container covered all the time. Here is a 2 pack of the wrappers, 1 kilo in total I used for 2 kilo of the mince meat. Now I will showing you 2 ways how you can wrap the dumplings. First of all, of course, you make the edges of the dumpling skin wet. Take about 1 tablespoon of filling, place it in the middle of the circle, then you fold it and secure the edges of the dumpling skin like this, so you got the semicircle. After you make one of the edge wet and join them together and seal, and you got your first shape of the dumpling. Second way, you fold the circle in half, make 2 fold on the each side, pressing them towards the other side to secure the shape, and you will get half moon shaped dumplings, how the Asian are calling that shape. I think that is more pretty than the first one, but I use both of them. Now we got our dumplings. I put them in the containers and gonna freeze them. Homemade dumplings will keep in the freezer for 1 to 3 months. This round shaped dumplings I use for soup and steaming, and this half moon shaped dumplings I use for frying them on the fry pan. I hope you like and enjoy. Bye.